wonderful thing about mechanical work is that every day something new is being introduced. If everybody's a doctor, if everybody's a liar, who gonna fix we car? Who gonna build our houses? Everybody play an important role in society because at the end of the day, money there.
Yeah.
Money there.
All right, folks, welcome to another episode of Talking with Nygil. And I am Nygil. And today, well, we will be talking to a young man by the name of Emmanuel Wilson. Emmanuel, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon. I am doing great, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's a privilege to have you here, especially, having the conversation with you and hearing all the things that you're involved in. I really think that this interview or this discussion, let's say, will be very insightful. Our first episode, we talked about TVET. And so I would have spoken to the Deputy Chief Education Officer about the TVET programs, how one can be a part of the programs and so forth. And now in studio today, I have a member who is directly benefiting from the TVET program at the Government Technical Institute. Now, Emmanuel, I give you the opportunity to tell us a little about yourself and give us a little bio.
Okay, good afternoon again. As Nigel said, my name is Emmanuel Wilson. I'm a 21-year-old, soon to be 22 in a couple of days, from Linden. I'm currently a mechanical major in the course Mechanical Electrical Engineering at GTI. I was a part of motor vehicle repair and light truck maintenance. I did the two courses, you could say simultaneously, but not simultaneously in a way, because it was coming out of the COVID period and, getting back into school. So I did 1 year with one class and continued into mechanical engineering. So that is it for me. Not that, interesting.
So can you tell me what initially sparked your interest in mechanical engineering and, how did you decide to pursue it as your major?
So it's very funny to be honest. As children, we would titivate, as the big people would say.
Yeah.
So I kind of always had a curiosity about how things work. You understand? And growing up as a young man, you would have vehicles around you. You get big man friend them giving you a drive every now and then. So it sparked a curiosity in me. So in order for me to follow that, I choose mechanical engineering. So that is basically what sparked it, and not having many persons that deal in the mechanical field in my family, you understand? So there's one of the reasons that it suit me in a way.
Yeah, so it's something that you would have had since a little boy. Because I remember my father, he knew how to change brakes pad and all these things. And for me, as an adult now, I can't do these things, right? I can't even change my oil and filter properly, right? And so sometimes I think to myself, what if I had taken in the training and the teachings that he was giving to me as a young man, if my career path would have been different? But, I do know that it is a fulfilling field for most persons who have that interest, especially who have that keen curiosity. Now, I know at the GTI that there are several projects that you guys undertake during your course of study. Can you tell me which was your most memorable project and your experience? Share the experience with us.
All right. So for the motor vehicle repairs, it's more like a hands-on program, whereas there's theoretical parts of the class and there's practical parts of the class. So they would take us into the workshop, allow us to do services on vehicles, different tasks that we have to complete. Most memorable, I could remember I was at NSERD at one time for a career fair, to be exact. A career fair, and we had to create a game using simple circuits. So this game is to basically target a particular crowd of persons, because we know people today just jump in a vehicle and drive. They don't understand how it works. You understand? So they have a lot of indications, lights on your dashboards that they might not know how or what it means. So the game was targeted to educate people on what the lights mean and how they go about, arriving on the dashboard. So that was one for motor vehicle repairs. And when I switched to mechanical engineering, the school, they challenge us to think critically, and they motivate us to, be a impact on society. So we had to do a project for programming, which is one of the courses that we did. And the project basically was to create a device that will benefit society in a whole. So me being a car head or an engine head, as people would say, I thought of exhaust silencer. It might sound, you know, in a way not so important, but Guyana is growing in the field of, you know, street cars and people modifying vehicles crazy. So my project was basically a silencer, whereas a button you could press
in your
vehicle and it silence the vehicle. So you could have an aftermarket exhaust making a set of noise and you're pulling up on the popo, you know.
That sounds cool. So
at the press of a button.
Is that legal though? I mean, it sounds cool, but is it legal?
So the thing is, why that project came to mind is because your vehicle should not exceed a certain amount of decibels, which is the noise reading.
Right.
So the reason for implementing that is so that you could have the better of both worlds. You understand? So at the times you're passing the court, you might be passing Parliament building, you can't have a noisy vehicle. So, you know, it could be legal and illegal at the same time.
I might have to edit this out of this interview. But nevertheless, I think it was a great initiative, man, because of course having the, like you said, the engine head, I'm sure you were a fan of Fast and Furious and those movies, and you know those things excite you. So I can understand where you're coming from with that. I heard you mention career fair.
Correct.
Is there a company in specific that you're desirous of working with when you complete your studies?
At the moment, no, because as we know, Guyana is growing in the industry of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. So it's kind of me now feeling out where I would want to go, because mechanical engineering can be, you know, it could venture off into multiple career choices. So there's inspections, there's asset management, asset integrity, and all these things. And different companies, they would embark in these different streamlined of work. So it's not a definite company as yet, because there are a lot of companies, OES, Gisby, and these places, you understand? So all these companies are companies that, you know, are prospective mechanical engineer that would look forward going to, but, you know, don't know what the future holds.
So what about the aspect? Because one of the things that we realized that the TVET program is able to do for young people is to not only give them the opportunity and to equip them with a certificate for them to get a job with a company, but it also helps you to be your own boss. Have you ever considered the whole aspect of becoming an entrepreneur, opening your own workshop? And I mean, the fact that you said that your concept or the model that you created with the silence, exhaust, and these things, it tells me that, you know, you really enjoy the field. So have you ever considered the options of having your own business within this field?
So just to like clarify a bit, the two courses, mechanical engineering is a full-time course at GTI. So the TVET course, which is technical vocational educational training, right? That is a program based on competence-based education. So there's a particular set of units that you have to complete, and after you complete these units, you're deemed competent in the course. Whereas mechanical engineering is a full-time course where you're getting a technician diploma in mechanical electrical engineering. So being an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard being a mechanical engineer, you know, entrepreneuring. Whereas being a technician, that you can service vehicles, you could change parts, you could do light maintenance on trucks. It kind of like, you know, it was a thought at first, but in a way I didn't want to do it, because there's a lot of mechanic shops, there are a lot of excellent mechanic shops out there. So going into that field, it's going to kind of be, you know,
because
something
you have to
cliche.
Build clientele.
Yeah, you have to build clientele. So it was a thought at first, but at this point in time, no, I wouldn't want to, you know, branch off into that, because these companies and the industry, there's a lot to explore, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to do, right? And you as an entrepreneur, you still have to do a lot of understanding. I don't know how the business works, how to go about building clientele, how to go about keeping up your standard. So you understand, I would use me working under somebody as a learning experience. So maybe later down in life, you know, you could start a business of your own.
Okay, understood. Now, I mean, all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah.
Now, you said you were doing 2 courses simultaneously, almost not simultaneously. I mean, we understand that, but I still think to undertake 2 courses at once is still a great task. Nevertheless, And I recall that you were a part of the youth parliament. Tell us what it was like, or how it is like for you to balance your social life and to balance your classes. Because I think when I called you, you said to me that your classes are from 8 in the morning to 8 in the night.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you balance your social life there?
So after a while, to be very honest, you get accustomed to it. So it's not that, it might sound hectic because when you get into the field, it's a 12-hour shift you're working. You understand? So GTech kinds of prepare you for that. But being a part of youth parliament, it was an opportunity given to me by the school as well, because GTI is big on mental health, big on student wellness and all these things. So they don't necessarily be beating you with the work all the time. You understand? So there's things that I would normally do. I like photography and I do it part-time, not as a job, but you know, something as a hobby.
As a hobby.
You understand? So I would do that. They get home from school, you relax, you know. I can't really play football because, you know, you get home at 8, it's already night. There's no way you could possibly go to play games. But balancing it wasn't, you know, it was a challenging task at first, but when you get accustomed to it, it's something that, you know, you figure out how to do. You have to make the sacrifice at some point in time. So you know.
There was a guy I was talking with, and he once said to me that you have to work hard once in your life. You can either do it when you're young or you can do it when you're old. And so that spoke levels to me, man. That was some profound stuff. How do you plan to continue developing your skills and your knowledge in both the mechanical engineering and the motor vehicle repair field as you progress in your career?
So the wonderful thing about mechanical work is that every day something new is being introduced. So us as technicians or us as mechanics, whichever you want to put it as, you have to be constantly learning. So it's a learning process. My way, as I told you earlier, of, you know, being ahead of the game, as we would say in English terms, is being under somebody. You understand? Being under established company, being under an established person of yourself. You understand? So you could grasp and understand different, you know, things from them, use the opportunities gained so that you could use it in the long run for yourself. So being a mechanic, being a mechanical engineer, and these things is a constant learning process. You don't finish learning when it comes to that field of study. So me doing that, it will help me later down in life. So if I decide to branch off on my own, I would have knowledge from all aspects of life, you know, working in corporate companies, working as a mechanic on the side and these things. So that is the way I choose to go about it.
Fair. That seems good, man. You know, it's always good to learn from somebody who would have walked the path before. Correct. You know, I think their experience with their knowledge, I think that's a lot to impart on a young person. And as a young person gaining it, you know, I think that sets you as an advantage as well. As we wrap up this little discussion or a little conversation here, now, we know most persons growing up in secondary school or growing up in the whole, they would encourage you, taking your education to be a doctor, to be an accountant, to be a nurse, or to be a teacher, to be, you know, a lawyer, or the conventional jobs. But you would have chosen a path that, you know, persons some time ago might have looked down at and to say, well, a mechanic. Because let me tell you something, I never knew that a mechanic made so much money until I bought a car. Right? Like when I started driving and I realized how much it is to change your brakes pad.
Correct.
Just to change a simple oil and filter, bro. Right? And imagine if you change 10 vehicles oil and filter per day. Right? And I mean, if I had known, I probably would have been in a different field. Right? So, you know, you choosing this path, what message or what advice would you give to some young person who may be listening to this podcast and, you know, want to pursue?
Yeah, as you say, growing up, to me, if you choose this field, you got to like it. You understand? So I once heard one of my big man friends, you know, in terms, he said, do something you love, do something you like. You understand? Because when you do something that you love or something that you like, it won't feel like you're working hard. You understand? So once you like it, you would always pursue it. You understand? You always want to learn more about it because this is something that you like, something that you want to do. Persons growing up, choosing the field of mechanics, as you said, mechanics make a lot of money, but it's not about the money all the time, even though figures run the world. It's not all about the money at times, because there's times whereas you have to, you know, hit the hay, deal with the books, you know, get it over with, you know, study. So it's taking education, as persons would say. So studying don't stop. It don't stop. You see the persons that are successful today, it might look like they're not doing it, but they're doing it in the background. You understand? They're going to school, they're getting their education, they're doing online classes and all these things. And GTI, they provide a variety of courses that you can do, ranging from science, business, mechanical, general construction, and these things, civil engineering, electrical engineering. So if you have the interest in being a mechanic, you understand, you need to be somebody that is a proper mechanic, because you say you don't know to change the brakes, but you won't go to anybody to do that job.
Next thing I driving and getting nothing.
So it's necessarily educating yourself, and that's what TVET they strive to do. Allow young men and young women to be educated, so that when they go into the world of work, they have something valuable, which is a trade. You understand? So persons that might be listening, you could take my stupid advice. You understand? And you find yourself at an institution that provides these, you know, trainings for you, your siblings, whoever it is. And it didn't get age limit, bro. I kid you not. Right? We have a student enroll, a 50-year-old woman coming to school.
Wow.
You understand? And I grew up around some friends that said, "Bah, you like school bad." You understand? But the exposure that you gain from being in school, from being a part of a program, it's you can't reach it being on the road, as we would say.
That is true.
You understand?
That is
so
very true.
I would advise them, you know, you're out of school, don't just focus. If everybody's a doctor, if everybody's a lawyer, who gonna fix we cars?
That's true.
Who gonna build our houses? You understand? Everybody play an important role in society. That's why TVET pushes to non-conventional jobs to be something. Because at the end of the day, money there. Money there.
Money there. I think that's some solid advice, man, you're giving to the young people. I want to say thank you, Emmanuel, very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this discussion with me and to raise awareness to other young people who are out there, for them to understand the importance of TVET and to not just see it as something that, you know, people just do. You know, it's something that is TVET is on the move, you know.
Something of value.
Something that you can hold, something that you can use, and something that can impact your life. And, you know, so I want to encourage our young people who may be listening, who may see this podcast out there, you know, to sign up, get involved, you know. Like Emmanuel said, if everybody's a doctor, if everybody's a lawyer, who's going to fix our cars? Who's going to take care of the air conditioning unit? Who's going to build our homes? Who's going to build the schools?
Correct.
Right? Who's going to help to develop the infrastructure? So, you know, once again, Emmanuel, thank you very much, man. And all the best as you continue to do your studies and to continue to push yourself as a young professional.
Yeah, Nygil, thank you for having me. Before I go, GTI has Jill of Trades coming up on the 28th of April. So it's basically whereas they're taking the young women at our school that are doing the non-conventional courses and they're advertising them to the country in a whole. So people that might, you know, listen to the podcast, that might, you know, hear it somewhere along the line, I show up. And there's a lot of things that's going to be on display, and you could see for yourself firsthand, you know, what we do at GTI, what we go about as on our daily basis.
Yeah, man,
right?
definitely.
Thank you very much.
I'm also starting to think that GTI should also consider having you a part of their marketing team. Right. Nevertheless, thanks again and all the best, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thanks.